down there, and that is for our electrical conduits that are already running underneath. One of the biggest problems is we should actually be starting our foundation, but as many of you know, we had the earthquake in Japan and it is affecting us. You may go, why? And the reason why is the seismic activity in California is something that they came out with as an industry a year ago and said we need to start looking at if there was a major earthquake, what's going to happen. Well, we were in plan check for our foundation when that earthquake happened, so we're stuck. There's a whole bunch of criteria that all of the soils industry has to look at in California now because of the earthquake, and there's no criteria of what to do. So we're sort of stuck at this point. We're working through it right now. We should start resuming in about 2 weeks. We'll have 60 tons of rebar going into that foundation, 60-foot pieces. It's a 60 by 60, 6.5 feet deep. It'll be 72 concrete trucks to do the first pour, which will be non-stop because of the fact that we have all the traffic in California. We'll be starting that about 6 o'clock at night, running out of 2 concrete plants and pouring non-stop until we fill this hole up. The second part, there will be about a 4-foot pedestal in the middle that the actual tower will sit on, and that'll be another 13 yards concrete trucks coming in to fill that up. So about 85 concrete trucks total. So massive footing. Back where the double doors are over here is where our electrical MCC room will be. This facility location was a restaurant. La Cocinita was the original name, Fiesta Barbecue. We tore down that, we left up the exterior wall as a sight screen to keep everything hidden from Jaguar and Accelerator. I'm sorry, and Montezuma 3 Next to the palm tree is where the operator's booth will be. The ride will have its entrance. You see that stack of plywood over to the side. Go around to the opposite side, you'll enter on the far side, exit over here. The reason you see all these trees and everything gone is in order to put up a ride this tall, the very bottom piece is 67,000 pounds that we're putting in. These are be the first one to come in. Very top one is 33,000 pounds at 301 feet in the air. So you can imagine how big of a crane we have to put in and how close you have to get. So all of this starting tomorrow will be torn out to get that crane into this site. The actual crane itself is a 500-ton crane. So to give you an idea of how big that is. If any of you saw Silver Bullet go in, that was a 300-ton crane. So if you ever saw that thing was massive. You can imagine how big this one will be in this site. At that, I'll go ahead and let you guys take pictures. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them.
Is that the pylon that had to get moved?
This is the original pylon. Okay. Was about back 14 feet. You can see what they did is they made an adjustment up here on the flange piece. Usually the B&M columns are flat to flat. That second one angles a little bit, and then we had to put a stiffener plate in.
Can you guys talk about the relocation of the ride from like the original when it was supposed to be Sky Tower?
You know, actually it wasn't. That all happens through our corporate office.
Gotcha.
So my job is just to build it wherever they say.
So it was more of a rumor?
No, it was going there.
Okay, gotcha.
We actually had it permitted through the county and everything to go in that location, and it was a change at the last minute that our corporate office made.
Can you give me like a nice van of white, like showing off your hole?
Showing off my hole?
Yes.
That sounds a little private there. Exactly. Yeah. Any other questions anybody has?
When will this be done?
We are anticipating being open mid-June with the press for 4th of July weekend. We originally were going to be June 4th, but Little Mermaid is opening that same weekend.
No.
So why even compete with them?
No, makes sense. Perfect sense.
Exactly. So we're actually just trying to get by a 4th of July weekend.
Well, Disney kind of planned it to take over those couple weekends, right?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
I forgot it now, sorry.
No problem.
What's the safety? What's 200 feet tall? What's the safety for the chains? Is it going to be a cable or a chain?
It's cable. It's a cable with a counterweight system. The actual seats, though, if you've seen the Starflyer, they actually are chains. Ours is actual steel beams coming out.
I remember it now.
So it's a rigid system.
I remember it now.
Yes.
So what kind of area is going to be affected? Like what's going to be closed while the construction of this is going on?
The only thing that should close is what you currently see, that you guys are inside the fenced area, as well as this midway right out here, where we have to actually put the pieces and bring them in. Most of our night work, though, will happen at night when we crane everything into place. because of the fact we have 3 coasters right next to us. We don't want them to take the chance of craning anything into place while these are open.
What kind of lighting system are you going to have on?
Actually, the corporate office is working with its. You got to get me on those technical specs. It's an LED lighting package that we put on there, about $500,000 worth of lights that are going on there. Our uplighting is going to be, however, just like Supreme Scream, where it's just the white wash metal halide lights, but the actual arms and everything will have lights. The other 3 towers that we're putting in, however, do have lighting on the ground that's going to change with it. Ours is going to look a little different because it's in Fiesta Village. It'll have a different paint scheme than the other parks. The other 3 are doing the same exact thing in all of those, which is the silver and blue and green that you saw on the internet for the other parks. Ours has changed to match the area. No K on the top. It was originally going to have the K when it was at that location, but not over here.
No, the pieces here?
No, they actually haven't even left yet. First piece is supposed to ship from Holland.
Holland?
Yeah. First piece is supposed to go on a boat March 28th, and then the last one's April 7th. They're being painted right now.
What's wrong with the tower? I've been coming here for years and never can go to the tower. Is it closed permanently, or?
It was closed permanently when we were going to tear it out. Now we need to go back and work on the ride control system.
So is that going to be available this summer?
I don't know if this summer we will reopen it. There is no set date yet.
How long has it been closed?
We shut down, no, it was about mid-year last year when it set up at about 100 feet up. And that was when we took it down.
Since you guys pulled out a restaurant here, is there plans to sort of replace like another location that used to sort of generate similar revenue that this place brought in?
No, this one actually, prior to Camp Snoopy, this restaurant was one of the top restaurants in the park. And that's because over where you see the Jaguar Helix right there, it was actually a midway that came through. And there wasn't a Camp Snoopy on the other side. So all the traffic fed to this restaurant. Ever since Camp Snoopy opened and that went in, this restaurant is dead.
Gotcha.
It opened Halloween Haunt for the beer garden.
I remember that, yeah.
And then weekends, and they've tried so many different concepts over the years. It really won't impact us that much.
It was its time.
Well,
It was its time.
Understood.
Yeah.
Great.
And it got cut off.
Yeah, exactly.
Right 21, right 10.
Excuse me? It was La Cocinita was the original. It was changed to Fiesta Barbecue was the most recent name it was under.
Is Jaguar open today?
Yes, it is. They were just testing, actually. Yes.
How's the color scheme going to compare to the other ones? Or
It's different. These oranges and blues that you see on these columns, well, actually this right here. Anything in this area is what we're using. Most of it is the orange and the blue, though, that you do see. Fit into the Fiesta Village.
Where would you say the entrance is going to be?
Entrance will be right where you see that pile of wood right there.
Oh, okay.
It'll be in that general area. We still, originally the main entrance was going to be right here between these 2 columns. That changed when I had to put the crane right here because we'll be tearing all this out.
How close is the ride going to come to the silver bullet column there?
If the ride was to open all the way, which is impossible because of the fact it works on centrifugal force, it would actually hit this column right here.
Wow.
From the middle of the foundation now, when it's open, it actually opens to 110 feet. So it'll be at about the 40-foot mark on this column that it'll have to wait till it starts opening up.
Oh, wow.
So we actually won't rotate because we don't control the actual opening. Like I said, it's centrifugal force, so we'll actually take it straight up, then start spinning once we clear the column.
Okay. Gee, it just won't spin the first 10 or 15% of the
Right.
up.
Well, that's how Starflyers are too.
Right, correct. Yeah. Originally, if we would left this foundation column in the old location, it actually would have hit when it was in the park position. So, hence why that moved.
You did that awful fast too. That was good.
Yeah, B&M actually is a great company to work with. They had the plans to us right away, and then it was a matter of just putting in a new foundation and switching it over in one night. So,
What's going to be for the logo up at the top? Have a logo? Keep it generic?
no, we actually are going with what you've seen on the other 3 parks. It's just that UFO piece on top. That's what we've switched back to. So it's the same as the other 3. Right.
Is there a model somewhere in the park you can see this?
No, there is not.